So like let me. This is probably a good time to like to go over this and like show what I mean, right? All right. So let's look at this replay real quick, and I want it to be said in the beginning before like the player names don't really matter, and I'm not trying to call anybody out for being shitty or whatever the fuck. It's literally just going to be explaining how the current jungle works and why it works a certain way, right? So I kind of want to put this on YouTube too, so like Panda just bring this up. All right, so basically I'm going to use this replay to explain how the current jungle works, why it works a certain way, uh, all the bullshit aside, and yeah. So the way the current jungle works is that you don't start in jungle anymore, right? There are some starts, some characters who can basically start in the jungle, but for the most part, they're not really that good. Uh, some characters can do it. It's kind of risky. If the enemy team knows you're doing it, they can invade you and kill you at it. There's just a few things that happen, right? So, basic explanation of the jungle. They added 2 new camps. They added these camps, and they added these camps. Let me start this up so you can like see the camps. All right. Okay, here we go. So they added these camps, right? The fire camps and the gold fury camps. What this does is it adds 2 new contested camps to the game, limiting the amount of time you have for laners, such as mid, solo, and dual lane, to what they can do in the jungle. This also means that like there's too many jungle camps for you to escort your jungle to every single camp. Why? Because if you're escorting your jungle to every single camp, you're going to be missing minion waves. That's going to relieve pressure on your lane and waste EXP and gold that could be being picked up. So this comes to the conclusion that you have to think about what camps are worth the most and what camps are worth going for and what camps you're going to need your laners to help you in. So the jungle camps that you're going to need your laners to help you with are obviously the contested camps. You see these camps right here? This row of camps right in the middle of the map. All of these camps should be taken off cooldown. If you are a laner and you have free laning time, your job isn't to go to these camps, but to take these camps. Now, you may ask me, Wolfy, why do you want to take those camps in the contested jungle over going for your ogre buffs? Aren't your ogre buffs worth more? Yes, they are. But if you don't take these camps, chances are the enemy jungle will take these camps. And if the enemy players take these camps, they're not only getting these camps, but they're getting these camps. So they're physically getting more EXP and gold than you are. If you're not contesting these camps as much as they're up. That being said, mid camps have also been devalued. They've been lowered in the amount of EXP and gold they get you to the point where bat camps are worth more than mid camps. If you are a jungle, your actual bat camps are worth more than mid camps. Now, the reason you go for mid camps is because, again, if you don't take these camps, the other team will. And it's just free EXP. So you're sitting there in the jungle confused. There's so many things to do. Basically, what this sums up to is that it is more of the laner's job to be taking these camps through the middle. If the jungler can manage his time enough to get there in time, then great. If he can't, that sucks. His job is to clear these ogre camps and these bat camps as much as he possibly can. If you're coming out of base as a laner and you see your jungler going to this camp, right? Be a doll and go to the right camp. Why? Because they're both going to be on short cooldowns, and he probably doesn't. By the time he clears all the camps on the left side, these probably will have respawned. There's a fuck ton of camps. The idea isn't to make every single camp worth as much gold as possible. It's how do we farm all these camps in a time efficient way so we're getting the max amount of EXP as a team possible. That's literally just the basic idea of what's important in the jungle. Not even how you should play. Now we're going to go over what happened in this game as to what, in my opinion, is a bad start for our team. But there are situations where this is okay, right? So let's go back. Now, people always ask me, Wolfie, why do you think that you shouldn't start in the solo lane as a jungler? Well, the simple reason is mid lane's minions meet together before jungle lane minions do. I mean solo lane minions do. So they will physically clear mid before you can clear solo. What this means is they have a choice of invading either side of the map. And if they decide to invade your right side of the map, they're going to kill your speed buff before you have enough time to respond, unless you sacrifice your minions in lane, which is, again, a risk. So we're going to look at this happen, and we're going to show how this literally fucks people over, because it happened to my team, and there's a simple solution to do this, right? Oops. Okay, there we go. As you can see, they've already done damage to my minions. Where's the solo lane minions? At the back of the tower. I've been trying to. Anyway, we're gonna scroll on through. Look at how low my minion wave is already. They haven't even been able to touch the enemy minions yet. You see what I mean? The solo lane minions haven't even met yet. Mid lane minions are about to get cleared. This is partially why you start mid lane as a jungler. Now, the only reason you start mid lane as a jungler is, let's say they just have a stronger mid lane combination than you do. Their mid lane just clears harder than you, their jungler is just stronger earlier than you, and they're going to invade your speed and fuck you up. The beauty of this new jungle is that if they come over here, guess what? This whole side of the jungle is open. You can invade and take this over and not fall behind as a middle or a jungle. So even if you lose the mid wave push, you still have the option of just taking this side of the jungle. I also really like it that the fact that the support starts over here, because it allows you to put pressure on this side of the map, and if you do happen to win middle, your ADC and support have the option of stopping them from invading your jungle, or even invade their jungle. I think it opens more options. I just like the option as a jungler to go to either side and never fall behind. If you start over on solo lane and something goes wrong on solo lane and you are a jungler, you're just behind. Oh, I know he didn't know how to play early. You're just behind. You don't have a secondary jungle to go to. If you lose this lane, or if you lose the mid lane pressure, you just lose this side of the jungle. That's it. There's no equal trade. So we're going to watch. We're going to go over. They've already pulled this jungle camp. They just finished clearing the solo lane. By the time they get to here, this is dead. Now, the correct response is not coming over here. The correct response is knowing that that jungle camp is gone and coming over here. Now, this is a little bit risky because they can literally just leave here and just go straight to their speed buff, and you could potentially get screwed over. But the idea is you don't want to go to your jungle. See, like I said before, the idea of this jungle is that there are so many more like camps to farm. You don't have to contest your camps. It's time management. Okay, can't come over here. Let's run straight over here, clear their speed buff, maybe clear their blue buff, or we can contest these camps over here. And that's what you're supposed to do. Let's look at the worst case scenario of what we do and look at what happens. We're trying to save our buff. I can't go over there because if I go over there, I just die. The buff is gone. We've got nothing in trade. Now they're also going to be able to get their jungle camps. And they're going to be able to get all these mid camps. And all we got is a blue buff. In a sense, yes. But it's really important for your jungler to have speed because he puts pressure on the map. And since there's so many minions on the map, he needs to be able to farm. And especially since he doesn't have boots, the extra movement speed helps him clear the farm. So again, as you can see, we are now behind, and we're probably just going to get destroyed for the rest of the game. It's just what it is. Now, that's pretty much the beginning of the game, and that's kind of the most important part of the jungle. After that, it kind of just goes back to a very, very similar part of the game where, like, it doesn't really matter. But you want to get to level 5 as fast as possible. Now, the biggest problem with a lot of people in laning and jungling at the moment is they don't realize that your mid can't follow you everywhere. There's too many camps for him to clear. It is actually your job as a jungle to solo majority of your camps. The camps that you need help with are these camps. These mid camps, these contested camps, and if you're going to invade. You're a much more solo lane character in middle now. And yes, there is enough EXP to where you can sit in middle, and the person can sit in jungle, and you will outfarm a person who's sharing every camp with their middle. So please, learn what's important. By the way, mid camps are kind of just the job of the middle, and if the supports come in the middle, kind of the job of the supports. If you see two people going to a camp, go to another camp. Don't three-way split. Please don't three-way split. If you're in solo lane and you see them doing speed buff with their middle, don't three-way split. Never three-way split. There's so many jungle camps, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't. Two people going to this side, okay, let me go to this side. Oh man, there's two people on the speed buff, let me just start these mid camps over here. Or these mid camps over here. Or the blue buff. Or any of the other like bajillion camps on the map. Don't three-way split. Your jungler can't clear every single thing on his own anyway. It's not the end of the world if you kill a camp without him. Just don't waste his time killing a camp. Same thing with you in middle. Put pressure in your lane so they can't rotate because they have to clear the middle, the minions. And take these camps before everything else. That's it. That's the new jungle. It's literally it. So what should you share with a support? as a jump, your support. So believe it or not, your support is main job is to be rotating with the middle. Your support's main job is to be helping with these camps. These are the camps he needs to help with the most. Your support can split the middle wave. Your support is expected to be helping with these camps. If your support is going to share an ogre camp with your jungler, as a middle, you leave him alone and let him share it. Or as a solo lane, you leave him alone and let him share it. Even as an ADC, you leave him alone and let him share it. If you as a support want to be selfless and allow your carries to get more EXP, don't help them with the buff. That being said, they're going to need you on these. Doesn't matter how many people are on these camps in the middle, you need to take these away from the enemy players. It is more important that you take these away from the enemy players than it is that you get the EXP off these minions. All these, try not to 3-man split these. If you have to because they're invading you, it's a different story, but try not to. That is the goal. You want your jungler as high level as possible because he affects the whole map, as opposed to you affecting only one lane. You want your mid lane to be as high as possible because when your jungler rotates to gank a lane, guess who's most likely to be following him? Your ugly little sadistic, psychopathic, prima donna, wannabe mid lane. He's usually also your main magic damage, and he's the one who's going to make them buy magic defense while you're usually physical damage. So, I hope that has helped you guys. I really hope it has helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, please ask me on my stream. Please ask me on Twitter. Please ask me anywhere that you want to. That's fine. I probably don't consider myself the best player in the world, but I do usually know my shit when it comes to efficiency and stuff like that. So, thank y'all, and thank everybody in this game, except Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. He's always sniping me. But yeah.